lean on me.
Oh my gosh. Welcome back to our channel. This is Tristan and Kara, and we are here to talk about getting married during a pandemic.
Hashtag COVID.
Yes, hashtag COVID-19. We got married during all this mess, and it still worked out.
We just had our month the other day.
Yes, it's our 1 month anniversary just a couple of days ago. So, we are basically just wanting to talk about, hey, it's still okay to get married, even during the midst of this. Even if you don't have your family there. For us, we didn't have our family there. And that was a sad day for all of our family, even us. You know, there was still a heavy weight of wanting our family there. But at the end of the day, we thought, hey, this is best for us. This is what we want to do. We've waited for years to even get married. So we weren't ready to wait any longer. But we wanted to say this. For us, this is what we're doing. We got married. We're going to have another wedding with all of our friends and family there. August 8th. It was 2 months after our original date. We thought, hey, let's push it back. Because in this time, all you can do is just take it day by day. And for the longest time, I didn't want to reschedule it. I was being selfish in that moment. I didn't want to reschedule it. I was like, this is what we're going to do. But at the end of the day, I thought about it and I said, you know what? That day isn't about other people. It's about us. It's about our commitment to one another. So we're going to lay out some pros and cons of, you know, getting married during a pandemic.
For number one, like we said already, intimate. Very intimate. It was just us and our preacher and our photographer, and it was very, you know, obviously it's intimate either way, but just knowing that it's you three there, going through the vows and saying what you want to say and having that intimate moment, it was still extremely special. So number two, no pressure.
Yeah. So basically, you know, what we put that down for is your wedding day, there's a lot of pressure. You have butterflies. You're very nervous. You know, what am I gonna trip over my gown walking down the aisle? So that was one of those things is, you know, there's no pressure involved. It's just you two, the pastor, and possibly your photography.
Number three,
big one.
Cheap!
It is cheap.
Dirt cheap.
It is cheap. Other than, you know, rebuying my dress, I didn't wear my wedding dress on the day we got married. I was saving that for the other time. It's a cheap way to go. Granted, we are still getting married on another day, which was very expensive. So if you want to just get married, you want to basically elope, you can do that. So that is a big pro.
I think number four kind of falls under the first one.
Yeah, it does a little bit. It's basically it's a special moment for you two.
But now number five,
yes,
is a big part, especially with what we're dealing with right now. More time for you to get stuff ready for your big day. Like, obviously, a lot of the tuxedo places around here, I've got a lot of people out of town that are in the wedding, especially where they're at. There's just not a lot of places open. And even if they are at short hours, and on top of that, people are trying to work to get money back for the time they weren't working during the pandemic. So
it gives you more time to get things prepared for the ceremony, because we didn't realize this. If we would have went with our original date, we didn't have a lot of stuff done. My bridesmaids' dresses weren't in it. Granted, that was because of the COVID. Things were pushed behind. We had not gotten any of the groomsmen tuxedos. It was just a big mess. None of the flowers were done, so you have more time to get stuff done for the ceremony if you choose to have another ceremony like we did. Now the cons to this.
Big one.
Yeah, this was a big one for us. Was there was no family there, and that day was sad, but it was also a very happy day, and so it was just a heavy day. I walked out of the church after we had just gotten married, and my mom was in the car crying because she couldn't be there. She couldn't watch her last daughter get married. And same for his family. He's the first child and he's the first grandchild. And so they didn't get to watch that, and that was a heavy day for them as well. At the end of the day, it's not about family, it's not about friends, it's about you two starting your life. The second con, it is basically, it's not your dream wedding. It's not what you had hoped for forever. You know, for girls, they start thinking about this very early on. What is my dress going to look like? What is the venue going to look like? This is what I want. This is, you know, everything that leads up to this. It's not your dream wedding. But at the end of the day, it was still perfect for us.
It was.
And that's what we loved about it.
Well, not only that, but to compromise for not having anybody there, we had a gathering at your parents' house with both my family and your family there.
Yeah.
So.
And so that was still, it was still able to celebrate with family, but still not your dream wedding that you would always hope for. And the third con.
Which, well, I think, like I said before, I think this one falls under number 2 as well.
Yeah, it's not as perfect as maybe you thought it would be, right? And so that basically falls under the second one. But at the end of the day, this is what I'm going to tell you, and this is what he would tell you as well. Mm-hmm. It was still perfect. And that's what it was all about. It was still perfect in our eyes. It was still awesome to be able to get married to one another on that day, even if there was nobody there. And this one kind of goes back and forth on number 4, if you don't have any vendors available. Some of your vendors will not want to do it. Right? They'll shut down completely because most of these vendors for us, they're small businesses, so they're the ones struggling right now through all of this. So they're not able to do this.
I mean, even at that though, be prepared for them to last minute cancel.
Yeah.
They could go all the way up to the week of, and then the week of be like, hey, sorry, we don't want to take the risk.
So for us, the only vendor we had there was our photographer. Mm-hmm. And I had called and texted her, and I was like, hey, are you still down to do this? Would you be okay coming to our actual wedding? And this is what she told me. She said, if we abide by the laws, I will be okay and I will be there. The laws at that point were no more than 50 at a gathering. And there was more people than we wanted than 50. So just bet on, you know, maybe not all your vendors will be there. But for us, all we wanted was our photographer. You know, we wanted that moment captured. So yeah, that is the pros and the cons. Now we kind of want to step into there's some tips for getting married through this, because there are laws. There are laws placed in effect for us to abide by them, and we are supposed to social distance.
But for this one, basically we're saying have a backup plan and then an additional backup plan as well. Because in our case, you know, we planned a backup plan, which is the August 8th date, but even now, if it gets extremely bad last minute, you know, should we even have it at that point? Yeah. Should we reschedule? You know, it goes different ways.
Yeah. So basically going into this one, if you are in the process of having to cancel and you realize, hey, maybe this isn't going to work out, contact your vendors. Ask all the dates they have available. And if they each have a date available, you know, later in the future, take that date. Put it down. That's what we had to do.
And look, if you've got, let's just say you got 4 or 5 different vendors, if one out of the 4 or 5 can't do the date that the rest of them can, be interested in looking into someone else that can do it.
Exactly.
You know? It doesn't have to be that specific person.
There's plenty of vendors out there, trust me. Another tip, for us, this is what we decided to do, but you may be different. Go ahead and get married.
Don't wait.
Don't wait. Because, granted, you know, you do want that dream wedding, but hey, like we said, it's about you two. So go ahead and get married, and then reschedule a wedding. Or, for instance, I can put it into this point. My friend just recently got married. She had a drive-up wedding where everybody stayed in their cars, and she still got married, and it was still perfect. So there's still another option. There's many of options out there, but for us, we decided, hey, we're just going to push our date back, but we're going to go ahead and get married. So there's many of options out there. Pick one, do it. Because these are uncertain times right now. You're just going to have to learn to just go with the flow, take it day by day.
Funny thing is, you just covered about 3 of them in that one statement.
Yeah, I did. So most of our tips are, you know, make sure all your vendors are good for still being there for your original date. If they're not, then, okay, maybe look into other ones. But if you're like us and you're ready, okay, let's just reschedule it. Look in, make sure they're okay for that day. And this is what I will say too. Make sure weeks leading up to your replanned date, whatever it is, make sure your vendors are still comfortable being there. And even guests. At this point, we're at the point where come at your own risk. So, because there is a possibility someone may bring COVID in, and we don't even realize it. They don't even realize they have it. There's a possibility. But at this point, you come at your own risk. If you want to be there and support us, come on, we would want you there.
But and even if you don't come,
it's
we still
okay.
love you.
We understand.
We get it.
Yeah, we understand. And then our last tip, and this is a big one for girls, for the brides, don't stress, because it's going to be perfect. No matter, if you have to reschedule
you make it perfect.
Exactly.
You make it. Not the day and what happens, you yourself make it perfect.
Exactly.
So.
It's not about the family and friends. Granted, we wanted them there. We still want them there. But it's not about them. It's about you two. And that's what the day is all about. And so don't stress about it. It's going to be okay. You're not the only one. You are not the only one. I have witnessed many brides this year struggle with it.
I mean, even our friends from the honeymoon,
Yeah.
Cade and Cameron, they were supposed to get married, I think, 2 months before the actual day. They actually got married the same day we did.
Yeah.
But theirs was supposed to be way before.
Yeah.
Their wedding was originally when COVID first hit hard.
Yeah. And so at this point, all I can say is don't stress about it. It's going to be okay. It's still going to be perfect. It's still going to be your dream wedding, even though it's not something you had always planned. At this point, all you can do is go with the flow, take it day by day. One of the things that we were always asked in
Why not wait?
Why not wait? Why not go ahead and just wait till your rescheduled date to get married? For us, we waited years to get married. We had been dating for
October of 18.
But prior to that, I mean, we had been together for on and off for years. We first started dating in 6th grade. It was something that we were just ready for. We were ready to be married and to start this life together. And so if you have any haters out there saying, why don't you just wait? This is what you just say. Hey, I've waited for so long. I'm ready to get married to this person. And here's the thing. This is what his dad has always told us. It's not about us, son. It's about you two. You do what you want to do. And so we've stuck by that.
Family's going to give you a hard time.
Yeah.
And that's because they have a right to be selfish.
Oh, yeah.
This is just as much a special day to them as it is to us. And we get that, but at the same time, it's like my dad said, it's what we want to do.
Yeah.
So if our family isn't happy with what we want to do, it's not that we just want to intentionally disrespect them, but it's because it's what we want to do. And eventually, your family, your friends, anybody else is going to see that, and they're going to be okay with it. They'll accept it. Now, at first, like I said, are they going to be selfish and upset? Of course, and they have a right to. But eventually, they'll understand that it's your special day, not theirs, and it'll be fine.
Yeah. And so that's really all we have for you guys. We wanted to basically just tell you about our experience with getting married during a pandemic.
Never thought we'd have to do that.
Never thought we would ever do that. I never thought I would live through a pandemic. At first, I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't even know what a pandemic was. I knew what an epidemic was. I didn't know what a pandemic was. This is what we're facing right now. And at this point, you just got to take every day, day by day. You got to go with the flow. You got to take the punches, basically. And so we just wanted to give you some encouragement. This is a possibility of what you could do. Love you guys. We hope that everything works out for you guys. Reach out if you have any questions. We've been through this, so we know. And just know that you're not alone. Hit that subscribe button. Smash it if you're into that. Subscribe to us. Follow us on our socials. We'll link that somewhere down below. And yeah, so we love you guys. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Perfect. Done and done.
Nice.